Nemesis is highly regarded as one of the best roller coasters here in the UK. Operating at the Alton Towers resort since 1994, this B&M inverted coaster really packs a punch with its intense layout, featuring 4 inversions and speeds of up to 50 miles an hour. On Sunday the 6th of November 2022, Nemesis closed for the final time ahead of a major refurbishment. This will see all of the track and all of the supports removed and replaced from the top of the lift hill to the start of the brake run. Hi, this is the Coaster Giant channel. My name's Matt, and in today's little video I'm going to be talking about what I'd like to see on the new Nemesis. So before we get into talking about Nemesis, I just wanted to have a quick explanation about what this video is about. It's my first ever sit-down video, and what I wanted to do is bring something to my YouTube channel that actually I already do in my spare time, and I just want to share it with you guys. So I've called it Coaster Giant Reimagines. It's all about thinking about existing rides, attractions and areas in theme parks and what I would do to enhance or change or improve them, in my opinion. And I thought with Nemesis now being reimagined in real life, this would be a perfect starting point for me. So as well as thinking all different things through my head, I like to do doodling as well. You'll know that if you follow me on Twitter. Go and check that out if you want to see what I mean. So they're just really basic little drawings, little doodles, but I'm going to bring them into the video as well. So as I'm talking through my ideas, I can visualise them a little bit for you guys as well. So I hope you find this interesting. If you do, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe as well. I'm hoping to do quite a few of these throughout the year in between all the vlogs and park visits that I get up to. So let's get into talking about Nemesis, my #1 coaster here in the UK. It's got a special place in my heart, but let's be honest, the ride area isn't looking that great anymore. So there's lots of speculation about what's going to happen, what changes we're going to see. But if we look at how the coaster area looks right now, it looks like an abandoned quarry. It's overgrown. The theming has been dwindled out throughout the years. We've got no red waterfalls. It's just overgrown land at the minute, so there's not a lot of theming going on apart from what we see on the station building. So personally, now we know from John Wardley that the ride hardware is going to be the same and it's going to be exactly the same ride experience, which is the most important thing for me. I want to see it looking different. I think that we're lucky enough to have all experienced Nemesis as it was, but now it's time for Nemesis to be reimagined and for us to see something different. I want it to look like a new roller coaster. The other reason I think we're going to see a totally different looking roller coaster and ride area is because Alton Towers are spending a lot of money on this retrack. They're going to need something to be able to market this as a new coaster to make sure that they get extra footfall into the park and a return on the investment. So let's have a look at all the different aspects that we could be seeing changed and what I would like to see on the new Nemesis opening in 2024. So let's have a look and think about the track first of all. So we know that the track is going to be exactly the same. There's a few tweaks to the supports, there's a few tweaks to the foundations, but the track on the whole is going to be exactly the same. So the only thing that can change is the colour scheme. Now there's been loads of rumours on Twitter, loads of hidden Easter eggs from Alton Towers, and we think we're going to be seeing black, grey and red as part of the new colour scheme. Personally, what would I like to see? I'd love to see the track and the supports all the same colour, so a dark grey or a black, and I'd like to see the running rails of the track a nice deep red colour. They're the colours that everyone's talking about. I think the running rails being a different colour to the body of the track would look amazing. Next up, let's think about the trains. It's highly likely that we're going to see a couple of new trains on the Nemesis track. So what could be different? We know that B&M have new restraint systems on newer inverted coasters where they have the best restraints. Them trains are wider than the original Nemesis trains, so it's unlikely that we're going to see them on the track. I think we'll get original trains, hopefully with some enhancements. There's two things that I would really like to see Alton Towers bring to the Nemesis trains. One of that is onboard lighting. Imagine if underneath every seat you've got some LED spotlights. So I'm thinking red would kind of be a classic of what Nemesis always was. I would like to see a green introduced. So I think a nice bright green spotlight on the bottom of every seat would look amazing, even during the day, but especially at night. During the Scarefest events, green spotlights racing around that track would look amazing. So the second thing I'd like to see on the trains is onboard audio. Since riding the ride to Happiness in Plopsaland, I know how much that can add to the whole experience, and I would love to see it on Nemesis. I'm kind of thinking there must be a reason why they're adding sand into the track to quieten down the roar as well. So is it because they're planning onboard audio? As far as I know, there are no other B&M inverts with onboard audio, so it would be a first. It would really add to the ride experience in my opinion. You've got some nice themed audio coming through and then some roars coming from Nemesis as you kind of like go down into the pit before you go into the loop and things. That's going to massively add to the experience of that ride in my opinion. So moving on, let's think about the general theming that Towers could be planning to use. We know from that amazing closing event on the 6th of November that they're heavily using the Phalanx and in making the whole Nemesis pit an investigation site. Now I think this is an insight into the way that Alton Towers is going to go in recreating a new story for Nemesis. So first of all, I think they'll keep the name, and I really hope they keep the name. I think that would be really bad if they got rid of it. They might enhance it a little bit by adding something afterwards, but hopefully they'll keep that Nemesis name because it's such an iconic name. So I would like the whole of the ride area to feel like you're trying to get into a restricted area. So I'm thinking so imagine the fences around the helix as you walk into Forbidden Valley. Imagine if that extended all the way around the top of the ride area, so all around the bits that I call like the cliffs, all around the top, all as I've shown in this little snippet here. Imagine if that fence continued all the way around and it was like a dark grey or black colour, similar to what we're going to see on the track. All of the fence posts have got red flashing lights or green flashing lights on them. It would feel like a really restricted area that we're trying to get into so that we can get onto the ride. Now with that, I also think a redesign of the queue line would really add to the experience. So I'd keep the entrance where it is, as I've shown again on this diagram. I'd keep the entrance where it is, but use all of the extended queue line that goes up and around the top of the lift hill, over the top of the cliff, around the back of the loop, and then back down into the station around that turnaround section before the loop. Now we know the queue line's there, it's all overgrown, it would need a lot of work to bring it back up to scratch. But I think then you basically would be taking all of the guests on an experience where you walk the entire perimeter fence of this secret location, this secret area, this restricted area. So yeah, you walk around that, you get some great views of the coaster that we've not seen before as well, or not seen for a long time anyway. And then when you get to near the station, we can have a gap in the fence, so it looks like the fences have been pulled up and bent back, so that's how we're getting into this restricted area. I think that could be really good, and with the right posters and things all stuck to the fence all the way around, it could really immerse you without the need for any pre-shows or anything like that. I think that would be able to tell the story of what Nemesis is, what this area is, and what you're about to experience without the need to stand in a room and see a pre-show. Just going back to the queue as well, the fast track entrance could still be where it is now, but the merge point can be further up, so at the top of the steps where you normally turn around just to go back into the station, that's where the merge point could be. They could put a roof there as well, so it'd be more pleasant for the ride-ops to be working in that area. And yeah, so the queue line would work if it was rerouted around the back of the pit. So then when you get into the actual ride area, so I'm thinking about all of the cliffs and all of where all the waterfalls used to be, because you wouldn't be queuing along the cliffs and under the first corkscrew and across the first loop. You could use all of that area for extra theming. Imagine like some more vehicles like the bus on the last inversion, all hanging off that cliff. You could have pipes coming out of it like and sparks or potentially fire. You could have anything coming off that cliff and it would be an amazing backdrop to the roller coaster rather than just looking at people queuing down that little hill. So thinking of the waterfalls, I'd love them to come back. I'd love loads of the greenery to be removed so we expose more of the rock work. But the waterfalls, how about they choose a different colour? What about green again? So again, green would really look good offset against the red of the track. So yeah, I would love to see the waterfalls back. I'd love to see it green. Also, because you haven't got the queue line going down in front of the waterfalls, they wouldn't need any drainage in that area, so that might solve the problem of the dyed water getting into the main water supply. I don't know, maybe. So, the ride station. I'm struggling with this. So I've got two thoughts. I love the station building externally, it looks impressive. And I don't know if I'd like that to change. But I think because of how it looks on the outside, it's difficult to theme the inside. The only real option that I can think of is I'd like it to look and feel like you're inside the alien. At the end of the day, that's what's going on. So I don't know, just more texture on the walls, more lighting. But yeah, I'm kind of stuck. The only other thing I'm thinking that I'd like to see on the inside is for it to feel like we've broken into the restricted area and we're in the labs. There's stuff going on where they're testing parts of aliens. It could look really cool, but for that to make sense, I feel like the external of the building would have to change as well. So let me know in the comments below, would you like a better themed inside, but lose the theming on the outside, or vice versa? Because I can't decide. So the only way I could think that changing the station building could work, and bear with me on this one, if you were to lose all of the alien theming off the station and it became like a top secret laboratory in the middle of this restricted area, although the outside might look a little bit boring, the inside could be really well themed. There could be loads going on in there, loads of theming to make it look like you're in a laboratory that's testing alien samples and stuff. But the ride needs an alien, right? Now I'm thinking you could actually submerge the theming of an alien into the pit, into the water. Imagine its arms or whatever they are coming out, the eye could be coming out of the water. All of the, if it was green water, that could all be bubbling and everything around the alien, and then it looks like it's really stuck under the track in the pit. I think that could look really cool, especially with the onboard audio. As you swoop down, the alien could roar, it's right under your feet. That's the only way I could think of it working. I'm just not sure how I feel about the station changing that much externally. One thing I would like to see changed in the station is where the exit is positioned. So it's at the back of the station at the minute, with a raised ramp leading down, which is also where the wrap entrance queue finishes. I think if they extended that ramp up along the side of the building and had the exit in the middle and a baggage cage each side, it would just help with operations, because you constantly, where the exit is now, you're constantly battling the flow of the whole train getting their bags and leaving the station. If the exit was in the middle, everyone would funnel past the baggage and straight out, and then the people that are following them onto the next train would literally follow them, put their bags and be able to get back easily. You're not fighting against everyone that's getting off the train, getting on the train. I think it would really improve the station and really improve the speed of getting the trains loaded and out. One other thing about the station, them air vents that literally come down to like eye level on me, I hit my head on them so many times. I just hope whatever happens that they disappear as part of this new version of Nemesis. So that's it. I hope my silly little doodles and little screen grabs from Google Maps helped make sense of what is going on in my head. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I do hope to make more in future. Let me know what you think. If you've got any feedback, put it in the comments. If you have enjoyed it, please give me a like. Consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.